When it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, the offseason is always a critical period filled with intense evaluation and competition, especially during those organized team activities, or OTAs. These sessions provide a glimpse into how the team is shaping up for the upcoming season and highlight some of the most compelling battles on the roster. One of the standout storylines revolves around the linebacker group, and more specifically, Kenneth Murray's evolving role within that defense. Now, for those who might not be familiar with some of the terminology, the green dot is a crucial element in defensive football. It's a small glowing signal on a player's helmet that designates the play caller on defense. This player serves as the extension of the defensive coordinator on the field, responsible for communicating adjustments, audibles, and calls to the rest of the defensive unit. It's a role that requires a deep understanding of the defense, quick decision-making, and leadership qualities because everything runs through that player in real time during a game. Kenneth Murray has openly expressed his desire to take on this green dot responsibility. He has previous experience in this leadership position and feels extremely comfortable handling the duties it demands. Throughout his career so far, he's been involved in calling checks and deciphering different offensive formations, which means he's not just a physical presence on the field, but also a cerebral force within a defensive scheme. Reports coming out of the Cowboys OTAs indicate that Murray has been spending significant time working as the weak side linebacker. This particular spot fits his skill set well, given his athleticism and sideline-to-sideline speed. He's the type of player who can cover a ton of ground quickly, chase down ball carriers, and disrupt plays across the entire width of the field. However, Murray's ambitions go beyond simply filling a positional role. He wants to be the centerpiece of the linebacker core, the guy in the middle running the show and orchestrating the defense. His mindset is all about being in the thick of the action, flying around and making impactful plays while calling the defensive shots. The green dot is often the sign of the team's lead linebacker, the player who embodies the heartbeat of the defense. Right now, the competition at linebacker seems to be narrowing down primarily to Murray and Jack Sanborn, with Maurice Leafau-Hurst also in the mix. Leafau's role becomes particularly interesting when the Cowboys shift into nickel packages which require different linebacker configurations. Nickel defense generally means an extra defensive back is on the field to combat passing attacks, often resulting in linebackers playing more specialized or hybrid roles. The modern NFL has seen the lines between weak side, middle, and strong side linebackers blur considerably. Players are expected to be versatile, able to cover tight ends or running backs in space, shed blocks, rush the passer, and excel in open field tackles. It's not unusual for teams to shuffle their linebackers around depending on the opponent's offensive scheme, matchups, or specific situational needs. In that context, the Cowboys' linebacker depth chart is somewhat fluid and hard to pin down with certainty. Injuries or strategic adjustments, like those involving DEMARCUS Lawrence and his effect on formations, could alter how the linebacker positions are defined, pushing coaches to think in terms of linebacker 1, 2, and 3, rather than strict side designations. Right now, with some uncertainty about health and depth, Kenneth Murray seems to have the edge over Jack Sanborn at the top of the linebacker pecking order, with Maurice Leafau just behind him. After those three, there's potential for younger players like Shamar James, Wrinkly Syrups, and Dion Clark to make an impact as depth options. But the linebacker group as a whole remains one of the more intriguing and open battles heading into training camp. There's a mix of proven talent, rising stars, and versatile athletes competing for roles, and the final makeup of that unit will be critical for the Cowboys' defensive identity moving forward. The linebacker core is an essential part of any defense, and with the evolving nature of offenses in the league, the Cowboys need players who can adapt and execute a variety of assignments. The green dot player, usually a linebacker in Dallas' scheme, serves as the glue holding the defense together. Their confidence, communication skills, and football IQ set the tone for the unit. Kenneth Murray's willingness to embrace that role and his proven ability to manage it adds an exciting dynamic to the Cowboys' defensive plans. It signals not only trust from the coaching staff, but also leadership qualities that can elevate the entire defense. As OTAs continue and training camp approaches, the Cowboys will keep refining their linebacker group. The competition is fierce and the stakes are high because linebacker play often determines the defense's effectiveness against both the run and the pass. In today's pass-heavy NFL, linebackers have to be more than just run stoppers. They must cover receivers, blitz effectively, and read the quarterback's intentions in real time. Murray's combination of speed, intelligence, and experience with the green dot system makes him a natural candidate to lead the linebackers and potentially be one of the defining defensive players for Dallas in the upcoming season. Meanwhile, Jack Sanborn and Morris Leafo aren't just waiting in the wings. They bring their own skill sets and have the opportunity to push for more snaps and responsibilities, especially as formation shift and rotations come into play. The nickel package, which often sees 3 linebackers replaced by extra defensive backs to improve pass coverage, will require the coaching staff to be creative in how they use these players. Leafo's role in these packages could be critical, as his skill set might allow him to serve as a hybrid linebacker safety, blurring traditional positional lines and providing the Cowboys with more flexibility. All this movement and competition within the linebacker core are signs of a healthy, evolving defense. The Cowboys are clearly trying to build a group that can handle the complexities of today's offenses and provide the kind of physicality and coverage needed to be competitive. In the league, the green dot responsibility being targeted by Murray is a great indicator of his leadership role, but it's also a signal that the coaching staff is confident in his ability to process information quickly and communicate clearly under pressure. In the grand scheme, the linebacker battle is about more than just who starts on game day. It's about establishing a defensive identity, a leadership core, and the ability to adjust on the fly when offenses throw curveballs. The Cowboys linebackers are tasked with being the defense's eyes and ears on the field, and how this group gels will play a significant role in how Dallas performs defensively this year. What's clear is that Kenneth Murray is embracing the challenge head on. His speed, instincts, and experience with the green dot system make him a prime candidate to be the cornerstone of the Cowboys linebacker group. Whether he can hold that spot throughout the season depends on his health, consistency, and how the rest of the group develops, but early signs are promising. The linebacker room is one of the more exciting storylines coming out of Dallas's OTAs, setting the stage for a competitive camp and hopefully a strong defensive performance once the season kicks off. Turning from the linebacker situation, another significant area of interest emerging from the Cowboys' OTAs is the defensive tackle rotation, particularly the battle behind the starting nose tackle, Osa Odighizuwa. Odighizuwa is expected to be the primary presence in the middle of the defensive line, anchoring the run defense and collapsing pockets on passing downs. However, as with any NFL roster, the backups and rotational players at that position play a crucial role in keeping the line fresh and maintaining pressure on the offense throughout the game. This depth can often be the difference between a defense that wears down late and one that keeps firing on all cylinders through 4 quarters. Among the names competing for snaps alongside Odighizuwa, Jay Toya has started to draw some attention. During OTAs, Toya has been getting reps with the first team, signaling that the coaching staff is interested in what he can offer. However, it's important to keep perspective here. The number 1 nose tackle rarely plays every snap of a game. Might see anywhere from 20 to 30 snaps in a game, with the backup rotating in to give him rest. This rotation system is standard practice across the league, so Toya's increased work with the ones doesn't necessarily mean he's locked in as the starter or even the top backup long term. Instead, it likely indicates his current standing ahead of other depth players such as Justin Rogers, at least for now. The key to this position battle might rest on Mazie Smith, who needs to show improvement to maintain or improve his role. If Smith doesn't make significant strides, Toya's chances of solidifying a more prominent role could grow as the offseason progresses. Defensive tackle depth is always a tricky puzzle. You need players who can plug gaps against the run, but also generate interior pressure on passing downs. It's a demanding position physically, requiring strength, quickness, and the ability to hold ground against double teams. The Cowboys appear to be exploring their options thoroughly, giving reps to multiple players to see who steps up and can contribute consistently. That doesn't mean the jump from a shaky rookie season to top-tier left tackle is expected overnight. It's more realistic to anticipate some ups and downs as he matures in his role. Still, if Gayton can improve enough to reduce pressures and penalties, provide reliable pass protection, and hold his own in run blocking, that will be a huge boost for Dallas's offense. Cutting out distractions like fried food and focusing on conditioning is part of the professional approach Gayton is embracing, and that could help him maintain the stamina required to handle the demanding left tackle duties week after week. Meanwhile, fans who are already excited about rookie wide receiver Jaden Blue should keep an eye on his involvement in special teams. Reports from OTAs indicate Blue is getting work as a kickoff returner, which is intriguing because in college he wasn't known for returning kicks. Instead, his experience mostly involved gunner roles on coverage units. Dallas' decision to give him opportunities as a returner suggests they see untapped potential there. Having a secondary option behind Covante Turpin, who is the Cowboys' primary return threat, makes a lot of sense strategically. Opposing teams often try to avoid kicking to a dangerous returner like Turpin, so having a backup with speed, vision, and agility adds a new dimension to the Cowboys' special teams. Special teams can be a game changer in the NFL. Good returners can flip field position, set up shorter drives, and even score touchdowns. Blue's athleticism makes him a promising candidate to contribute in this area, especially as new kickoff rules open up more opportunities for creative returns. If he can develop into a reliable secondary returner, that could help the Cowboys keep their primary returner fresh and maintain a dynamic threat on special teams throughout the season. Of course, he won't replace Turpin as long as the latter stays healthy, but the depth and flexibility Blue provides are valuable assets. The Cowboys' defensive backfield is another area with plenty of movement and questions to resolve. Nickel. Cornerbacks, who often cover slot receivers, are a critical piece of modern defenses. Reports indicate players like Don Bland, Israel Muamu, Kevon Wallace, and undrafted free agent Zion Childers are all working in nickel and safety roles, with some overlap that reflects today's demand for versatile defensive backs. Childers, in particular, stands out as a hybrid player capable of lining up both in the slot and in safety positions, which is a coveted skill set in today's NFL defenses. This flexibility allows coaches to disguise coverages and adjust to offensive formations more easily. Juan Thomas is another name to watch, as he has been taking part in team drills, which could signal his role in bigger nickel packages. Defensive. Sets that deploy multiple defensive backs to counter 3 or more wide receiver sets. Thomas's physicality and coverage skills might make him a solid option in those situations, especially if the Cowboys want to keep a bigger, more physical presence on the field while still defending the pass. Marcel Harris is also a candidate for some of these hybrid roles, but his availability has been limited by injuries sustained during OTAs. The cornerback room overall remains somewhat unsettled. While Don Bland shows promise, the Cowboys will likely need more clarity on their outside cornerbacks before the regular season. If Savonne Elam isn't ready by week 1, or if other players struggle to step up, Dallas might have to look externally, or lean on veterans like Stephon Gilmore or Michael Davis to fill those gaps. The quality and depth of the cornerback group will be a major factor in the Cowboys' defensive success, particularly against high-powered passing attacks. The continuous shuffling, competition, and experimentation in these position groups underscore the importance of OTAs and training camp. It's not just about evaluating talent, but also about finding the right mix of players who can execute the coaching staff's schemes, communicate effectively on the field, and play fast and physical. Football. The Cowboys are in the process of assembling a defense that can hold its own against the diverse offenses in the league, and every positional battle, whether at linebacker, defensive tackle, cornerback, or even on special teams, matters. As the season draws closer, fans and analysts alike will be watching how these battles unfold, looking for signs of progress, leadership, and consistency. The green dot linebacker, the nose tackle rotation, the developing left tackle, the emerging return specialist, and the nickel cornerbacks. Each piece contributes to the puzzle, and while many questions remain, the energy and competition in Dallas's offseason work suggests the Cowboys are motivated to improve, adapt, and compete at a high level in 2025. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In what could be one of the most unexpected developments of the NFL offseason, there are increasing whispers around the league that DeMarcus Lawrence might be returning to the Dallas Cowboys. While nothing has been confirmed by the team or the player, several sources close to the situation have hinted that talks have quietly progressed over the last few weeks, sparking speculation about a potential comeback that could dramatically reshape the Cowboys' defense. Lawrence, who had previously left the team amid cap considerations and a desire to explore other opportunities, has long been a cornerstone of the Cowboys' defensive front. His leadership and pass rushing ability made him one of the most feared defensive ends in the league. Now, with the Cowboys seeking to bolster their defensive unit following a disappointing playoff exit, the possibility of Lawrence returning to Arlington is gaining momentum. According to reports circulating within league circles, some Cowboys players have already expressed excitement at the idea of seeing Tank back in the locker room. There are rumors that head coach Mike McCarthy and defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer have both been involved in the discussions, viewing Lawrence as a critical piece for their revamped defensive scheme in 2025. Financial logistics remain a hurdle, as the Cowboys are navigating a tight salary cap situation. However, some insiders suggest that both parties are motivated to make the reunion happen, with Lawrence reportedly open to a more team-friendly deal in exchange for another shot at a Super Bowl run with the franchise that drafted him. The potential return of Lawrence is already generating a buzz among Cowboys fans and NFL analysts alike. Some believe his veteran presence could be the missing element that propels Dallas deeper into the postseason. Others caution that at 33, his best years may be behind him, though his recent performances have shown he can still make a significant impact when healthy. As the offseason progresses, all eyes will be on Dallas to see if these murmurs turn into a headline-grabbing reality. For now, it remains a tantalizing possibility, one that could shake up not just the NFC East, but the entire league. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.